What's going on? We back at it again. My name is Albert Bart T. I am a student at Indiana Wesleyan University, and I have been tasked with the assignment of uh, explaining why or how the compare and contrast goes between general studies and liberal arts because they kind of do have one and the same since you cover a lot of different topics within the degree. So the first thing is um, to kind of go back and introduce the topic. So general studies degree. When you're pursuing that in college, it is basically saying I'm getting my core classes rather um, in the. Hold on, let's turn this TV down just a little bit. Sorry, I was watching Monday Night Football, but or Sunday Night Football rather. But so your uh, general studies degree is mainly a degree that covers a lot of different subjects, including your math, your literature, your arts, your economics, different things of that nature. Um, Liberal arts is is kind of the same when you refer to that liberal arts. These means that your courses will um, be in general areas of study: philosophy, mathematics, literature, art, history, languages, and they can be applied to different fields, to certain fields. Liberal arts education is not intended to train you for a specific job um, or prepare you for the world of work, providing to a valuable skill set similar to what you'll be doing if you were in med school or if you were studying to be a lawyer or things of that nature. So it kind of gives you a broadening, well, at least for me, rather, it changed my way of thinking. Um, what I will say is, um, when you're studying liberal arts, what I've learned thus far, where you're in a general studies type of uh, atmosphere or course schedule, uh, your courses, they have a very when you're looking at those, they make you think, differently because you're looking at various points of view. Um, you will learn about ideas, beliefs, um, uh, human beings in general, shaped into civilizations. And this goes back to thousands of years. So we know, like, what does it mean to be a human? What has humans done? The thought about them. What did that feel like? How are things made up? And it kind of goes into a deeper spiritual connection, from what I've learned. Because you want to make sure that you have a good understanding of this, and then you kind of go into how the environment is shaped, and and just different methods and techniques to be used to examining the world and people in the world. So that's that. That was one of the things. With that comes a set of disciplines uh, that you must have after reading my disciplines for or reading the required disciplines for the chapter, and this is for chapter 3.2 or uh, not chapter, and I'm looking for the word for course 3.2. Uh, you kind of raised some big questions. It kind of had me thinking, why arts? Why not engineering? Why not nursing? Why not heavy duty mechanics, computer science? I mean, the list can go on and on. There's a numerous ways to answer this question, but ultimately, I think the answer is, the utility of any answer can be will depend on your own circumstances. So a lot of people, they want you want to be in they want to learn in a specific field. They want to be, like I said, a doctor. They want to be an engineer. They want to be a mechanic. They want to go into nursing. And that kind of just gives you a narrow way of this with with arts. You can go into business. You can go into um, you can go into construction. You can go into anything that's people related, real estate. You can go into you know all of these different fields to be successful. Be a teacher, be a motivational speaker. You can go into all these different ways of thinking and grouping it together, but it broadens that horizon. So for me, I will speak on it. For me, when I originally went to school, I went to school for sports management, and I had a minor concentration in business. And like you find out, the stereotype is most college kids or most college students, they do not, um, either if when they do switch majors, they cannot get a job in that field that they chose to major. This eliminates that. For me, and I'm not, I'm a salesman by nature, and that is my profession. So if it sounds that I'm trying to sell you to get a liberal arts degree, that's definitely not the case. But I am telling you, it kind of teaches you to maybe take a course or take a couple courses to kind of change your mind. To change your way of thinking, not change your mind, but change your way of thinking and how you perceive things and how you look at things. And for me, those it gave me I guess a sense of skills of training, and a couple of those is just uh, knowing how important it is to get a proper skill set. Some of you might think that the goal of post-secondary education should typically provide you with a specific training towards a specific job, and that is not the thing. I think that post-secondary education um, should give you a broadened horizon, so that when you does come to the job market, you have a lot of skills, and you can cover a real, a broad umbrella of jobs that you can apply to. Um, I met a guy. I met a guy. Funny story. I met a guy, and he was telling me what his majors were. He said his majors were in biology and different things, but he decided to go into business. I mean, it was one of those things. He had to retrain himself because he couldn't get a job in the field that he wanted. So he had to retrain himself those necessary skills. And that's just an instance of me saying, well, you know, you want to put your best foot forward. Why not? Uh, why not? Get why not start off with general studies or learn those general requirements. The skills that I learned thus far while taking this course and amongst others of courses in my past is definitely knowledge building skills, creative thinking, solving critical problems. And it really helps me because, like I said, I'm in sales. So when I'm traveling through my territory or uh, my area that I need to sell to, it definitely, you're talking to a lot of different people. And I took a sales training class where um, you have different type of personalities. So people are like C-type personality, or they have these different personalities. And for me, it was one of the things that you had to learn how to talk to people on how they would understand. People would talk with their hands. People would, say how they would feel while they were giving an instruction. They would, you know, be an introvert or an extrovert, or different things. No, not one is a right or wrong answer, but I think you do need a certain type of skill sets in order to talk to different types of people. Because if you just have one, you're going to be talking to just one type of person, and that's not the same for everybody because everybody's different. So I've learned how to have that self confidence, self understanding, to be able to have the ability to pose meaningful questions that advance understanding and knowledge. So when I'm going into my sales presentations and when I'm going into these classes, I definitely can ask the professor, whether that be ask a professor a question and say, hey, can help me understand this, and to get a better understanding of something that may help me think a certain different type of way, or and I love when uh, my professor challenges me with questions that I'll give an answer to them, and they're like, well, think about it like this. Well, what do you mean? And to dive in deeper, because that broadens your that broadens, like I said, they broadens that umbrella that you're going into. So Those are just a couple things for me. A couple other things that uh, you know that I took from this course, or not this course, but this assignment in the course is, um, I asked myself questions. I said, well, where can an arts education take me? Where are some of the things that an art education take me? And it can take you. The opportunities are beyond your imagination. I mean, they're your interests. So if you're willing to devote the time and the energy into your work, an arts degree, can take you to be a top graduate or go to one of the top professional schools. If it's to be in a real competitive atmosphere when it comes to a job, it can take you to be that as well. Business, education, journalism, law. I mean, the opportunities to have an arts degree or to have an arts background in your degree coursework is definitely, the opportunities are endless. Will an arts One of the other questions I asked was, will an arts education make me a better person? Um, and I think it will. I think that, and it would enhance my knowledge and improve my understanding of the world and people. I took a class at another university that I attended, and it was how the world views America. And one of the things that you realize, especially as a young adult, everybody doesn't have your same background. Everybody doesn't come from where you come from. Everybody doesn't, look at things how you look at things or how you view things. Everybody has their own individual personalities, and that's what to me, that's what this world is about. It's how the world uh, views America, and it's how different people out of the country look at us, and then you have your own expectations or own perceived thoughts, on other countries, prior to you going there. One of the organizations that I'm a part of, we build houses um, in different countries that are in poverty. So you give them build houses for them and also build schools. I haven't had the chance to go over there, but the organization has had the opportunity to go to a different country and build up schools. And I'm just one day I hope to be able to contribute to that, because I think that's amazing. I think that me knowing, understanding that knowledge is definitely, it's deeper than me, because I wouldn't have been able to have that without uh, taking or having some process of a liberal arts education or just an arts education. So, uh, I'm sorry, I keep looking back and forth here because I did take some notes and took some questions and things that I did want to get across. So, before I, didn't want to rant too much, but one of the other questions that I posed to myself is um, for this assignment is, um, can a liberal arts degree make me happy? Um, and I think a liberal arts degree can make me happy, just because of the standpoint that uh, what how you communicate with your family, how you communicate with your loved ones, your wife, your kids, your coworkers, your parents, your teachers, your mentors, your mentees. It's definitely a it is definitely a range of knowledge, and you want to make sure that um, you are um, you are communicating through and through the proper way. And for me, that's what makes me happy. What makes me happy is knowing that I can communicate to my family, um, and they can understand me. I could be a great leader, a great friend, a great motivator. I'm not a father yet, but a great husband, a great friend, and just by having that understanding of being able to provide words to somebody that may be in need, and have an open mind about it. That was what I got out of the assignment. It's I to kind of wrap things up here, and I'm looking back and forth at the coursework here, because I make sure I want to get everything answered that was presented to me. But to wrap things up and to bring everything back to um, the closing here, I think, comparing and contrasting general studies with an idea of a liberal arts education is one and the same. I think having general studies um, is the start, but I think that liberal arts enhances that, if that makes sense. I think that it grows your level of understanding of being able to dive in deeper into certain topics, be able to speak on different things. And that's something that's always been big to me. I've been always been wanting to um, enhance my train of thought and being able to speak on a multitude of different topics, no matter what atmosphere I'm in, whether I'm at the at a bar with friends watching a game, whether I'm at home with my wife having a nice conversation, whether I'm with coworkers discussing business plans and business ideas and business ventures, or whether I'm with my mentor and we're talking about spiritual well-being and spiritual health and different things. I want to be able to speak on a multitude of things and not just have a surface value level conversation, but you actually want to make sure you have a deep dive and be able to um, I call it deposit knowledge into somebody's life, because that's definitely important. So that's my time, guys. I thank you for watching this video. I thank you um, for tuning in today. I want to thank my instructor, Professor James Wise, for giving us this wonderful assignment to complete for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy. And if you have any questions, send me a message, and I look forward to hearing from you. So thank you for your time, and have a good night.